Good evening, everybody. Here we are, 29th of August, and we're on tile number 576. So, sorry for the delay today. I know I was hoping to do my tile live from the new place. Quite wasn't meant to be. Not that we're having problems with the internet, anything like that. That was fine. It's just that today I've been packing parcels. I want you all to get your orders. And I know we've been a little bit slow with, of course, moving and things, but we're working on it. And we had a little bit of a problem with our not our fabric printer. Fabric printer's fine. The printer that, we print our patterns and things off, we've actually got it back to the new place and it won't work. So there's about 6 orders from Sewing Street that we're waiting for. We're just waiting for patterns. So we've got a new machine arriving on Monday, so hopefully everything will be out before Yodel is then. I say there's about 6 orders, that's it. We're just waiting for the patterns to be printed. So yeah, these things come to try us. So far so good, touch wood. So yeah, I'm doing it here from home this evening, but definitely Tuesday I'll be doing it from there. And I might even give you a little bit of a show around my room. It's not all done yet. We've got a skip, got to come, and there's bits of things that need doing, but we're in. And that's the main thing, isn't it? So, okay, what have I done? I've got a off-white kind of creamy tile. I've inked it with whatever colours there was on my brush. I know that's not very professional because I should say all the colours, but that's what I've done. And that's what we do. And then I've used the Country Houses background stencil. I love that one to give it a little bit of interest in the background. Having said that, we're going to draw over it. So let's get going, shall we? So lightly, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a diagonal. I'm not going to need this when it's done. Hi, everybody. Hello, Glenys and Nikki. Oh, it's lovely to see you all. See a little cross lightly, okay? Because I want to do one down the middle as well. So easiest way for me to do that, look, if I find the middle line, the edge of my ruler up, I'm going to put that one on. Same with this one. Let's just do that. So I've kind of got all my little points there, okay? So then let's come in and I'm going to join up this one with this one. I'm going to go a little bit heavier so you can see it. Because I think, yeah, we're going to keep this one. I'm going to go a little bit heavier. I haven't decided yet. So I've got a bit of a diamond shape going on. I know it's a bit of construction for a Friday night, but we haven't done one like this for ages, and I thought it'd be nice to do something a bit different. So let's have a little look at that, see? So I've got a cross, then I've got a cross that way, and then I've got like a diamond rather than a square. Okay, easy, easy. And then looking at the points that where this line touches this, I'm going to put a square inside it. So actually if I do the sides, because I can see better, because obviously I can't see over the camera. So I've got a square inside a diamond. That makes sense? As long as it's about, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to go in a bit now so you can see what I've got. All right, everybody can manage that, I'm sure. Bit of a ruler, a few little marks. Even if you freehand it, it doesn't matter. So let's have a look at this shape first, this one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in a little bit, put a mark. I don't know, about 3-4 mil at most. Put a little mark. So I know that, they're kind of similar, you see. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a sort of a leaf shape. Do it lightly, because that might change a little bit. And notice that my leaf shape starts on that little mark, so I've got a gap there. Let's do one here. So what are we all up to this weekend? John and Tommy are back in the office tomorrow. I'm going to get some drawings done or else I'm not going to get anywhere. Okay, there we go. See, I'm automatically working that way. It doesn't matter because I am going to turn it like this. And the idea is I want to join this one and this one together. Now, and this one, I'm going to do it this way. I know we've kind of done this before, so I'm not too worried about this. It's not going to be really worrying there, okay? So then I'm going to bring this round. See, it's quite thick, that, isn't it? Don't want it to be too thin. And I'm going to do, let's do that one first. And I'm going to bring it round, look. Now it's going to touch almost, but not quite at the middle. So I want a gap, definitely, for sure I want a gap. And up and along, and then back in there. Okay. So you see, definitely got a gap where the middle is. So let's do the same. So let's do that one first. And looking at the sort of date space there, put one similar there. And then I'm going to come round and put my mark in. So I'm touching that and coming back round, look, and creating that shape. Okay, so hoping now that if I turn it this way, this one is going to join that one underneath like so. Let's do that. Keep it light because they're not all going to stay underneath, if you know what I mean. Okay. So with that done, let's move to this one, this larger piece. And again, I'm going to put myself a little mark on each side. Again, 3 or 4 mil, nothing major, so I know where I'm working to. And then I'm going to put my shape in. So I've got a bit more of a guide this time. See, I'm going to that point there. Let's do that on each one. Again, I'm in pencil, not done anything in pen yet. I'll make sure that I'm comfortable with where everything is before I do anything crazy. Same that look. Okay, there's that little bit there. So let's have a look next section. Same sort of thing. Let's have a look. See, I'm going to work along here and put that line in. And then it's going to go across. Actually, let's join that one first, look. It's like we did before. And then, see, I'm getting ahead of myself there, wasn't I? Put that one in. Yeah. And then as before, let's bring this one down. It's kind of going to go under and through there. I'm going to stop at that point. Same with this one. Look, I'm going to come round here. And through there. So let's look at these two. So again, look, let's join them. So it's all going underneath at the minute. And then I'm going to come around and along. Oh, let's give that a bit more. It's going to come under there. And then this one is going to join all the way around. Look, I can see it's going to the point now. And round there. And hopefully, this is why we do it in pencil. It's going to kind of match. If it isn't, we can always make a few amendments to make it match. Okay, oh, we've got this one. Did you see there? You could definitely see that line was missing. Okay, so we've got that. That's lovely, isn't it? So let's have a little look. I'm going to, first of all, I think, let's just get rid of that line there because I want to see exactly where my lines are going. And I'm also going to get rid of the, so you know, the bit, the square on the inside. I did say do it lightly, but mine's a little bit heavier, so get rid of it. A little bit anyway, okay? So it doesn't matter which way you go with this and where you start. So I'm going to look at this larger one here, and you see when it comes underneath there. So what I'm going to do, that one's going to stay underneath, and then as I work my way through, see this one, I'm going to make it come over the top like that. And then that one's going to go underneath. See, so it's gone under, over. Let's get rid of that. Under, over. So I'm kind of rubbing out the lines as I go. Okay. See there where it crosses? I can bring that down a little bit, look. So that does look a bit better, like it's going under, over. See? So under, over, under, over. So now this one look goes underneath. So this one is going to go over. Let's get rid of them lines. then underneath that one, then over the top of that one. Work it down then again, under, over, under, over. Now, if you wanted to, you could do this anyway. You don't have to follow this. You could have started over and gone under. You could just leave them all underneath. You could have it as one whole shape if you wanted to. But I kind of like the idea, see, of things going over and under it, crossing through and things like that. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So I'm going to go in now and put this in pen. So I'm not going to do anything with the squares. It's just about me doing the lines and the overs and the unders. So I could put that shape in. So let's do the same here, look. So the outside. Oh, it went a bit wobbly, that's okay. And along there. So I think Tom's downstairs feeding the boys. Finley's been to the vets today for a bit of a procedure. He's of age and he was getting a little bit the boss of the house, so he's feeling a little bit worse for wear. He's okay, he's gone fine. He's just not as lively as he usually is, and I have sent him back with a cone to stop him biting and scratching at himself, or biting anyway. But they did say good luck with that. So they obviously have had an experience with him today whilst he's been there. Bless his little heart. He's doing fine though. Comes to him. Okay. So see how this is sort of crisscrossing around? I say if it's a little bit, doesn't matter if it's not quite matching, or some of the lines are a bit thicker and thinner than others. It's just about enjoying drawing it. So we go into those bits and under there. See, I could have continued that. I could have gone over and under all of those, but it's, I think it's fine as it is. I didn't want to get too carried away and suddenly lose the plot with it, because that's easy done too. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so I'm just getting rid of my lines. Don't need those squares anymore. That was just to help me get going. That's our main shape. And what I want to do here is, let's have a look. I'm going to come in with these, it doesn't matter which one actually, you can choose the inside one or the outside one. I think I'm going to go outside. And I'm going to start with a line, and then I'm going to work my way around that shape. Remember, you can turn your paper to give myself a following line. You see, it's going to give it a bit more shape. It's going to sort of introduce the fact that things are going over and under. Just join them off. And again, as I'm going round those curves, I'm going to follow it. Keep that shape going around. I want to end up with a point at the top there, like that. And then around the next one. Kind of keep it coming. So it's going to go all the way along. There we go. See? Keep it going. So if you find it easier to start at the top and then work your way down each side, you can do that. And of course you've got the little overs and unders where you can kind of mix and match. You don't have to get it exactly, so it's quite nice, isn't it? So let's work down this next bit. So again, follow the shape and move your tile if you need to. Don't think you've got to try and do it without moving it at all. See, put that line in there. Hi, Linda. sort of keeping it going, you see. Let's do this next bit. It's all sort of interconnecting. And along we go. Okay, so one more bit, look, just this bit here. And follow it along. It's just nice to give it a bit of difference, isn't it? Okay. As we carry on, there you go. Okay, so we've kind of got these little triangle shapes in the middles there. Yours might be a little bit different. It depends on how wide or how thin that you've done those. But I think what's going to be nice is if I bring in a little bit of a loop sort of situation, one in the middle, two at the sides, and I'm going to fill any gaps with ink there. The same here, and in the middle, two at the side, fill in the gaps. I'm going to do that on each side there. Let's give that a little bit of shape. Again, filling in those gaps as we go. Okay, let's have a little look at that. All right. So next little bit, this is kind of grid-like, so I thought what would be nice is if we mix it up a little bit and bring a little bit of flourish through it. So the nice thing to do is let's sort of start with a double line, not too far away from each other. Okay, and then I'm going to come round with that oval shape and fill in both sides. So I've got that. Let's go in a bit more. See, and I'm going to go round. I'm not going to make these too small, so it's going to be quite big in that essence. Now they kind of control themselves, so you don't always have an idea as to which direction they're going, but that's a good thing, isn't it? You can sit in there, just let it do its thing. You don't have to decide. If you want to, you just you know, make it a bit heavier, sort of bring it through. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of put myself a little bobble in each one, you know, just up the middle there. So it's going to almost be a little dot when I get to the top. Same with this one. I'm going to do this with all of them because I'm going to put a few in. I haven't drawn these in ages, so let's do that. Look at that. Okay. Now the idea is try not to look at what you've already done because you want to have them so they're different on each side. So I've covered mine up so I can't copy it. So that it might end up the same, I don't know. But I'm going to, you know, attempt to do something a bit different. Like so. Yeah, it is a bit. Let's bring one in this way then. Because I don't have to have them all coming from the same place. You can have them come from different areas. Okay. So if I want it to go this way a bit more, I just bring that one like a little bit further in. There we go. Again, I'm going to put those little shapes on there. It's like they're having a conversation, doesn't it? Blowing the wind. I'm going to be rebel, look, and I'm going to put 3 in. Because I can, because it's my work, I do what I like. And that's the nice thing about it, you don't have to do the same. And I think because I've got the colour in the background, it's giving it that little bit of interest. You can sort of do whatever you want to do at the front there. Okay. Let's bring one in here. Oh, one's a bit wider there. That's okay. Run around. Again, look. Let's put some of them in. It's amazing, isn't it, how that little kind of curve in there has changed the look of them. They just got a little bit of character, haven't they? Let's do one there. Again, just putting that oval in. Do you know, I think this is the first time I've sat down all day. It's absolutely manic. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow to actually getting on with some drawing and things. I know John's still got a lot to do. Tommy's going in to help him, and I did say, do you want me to help? And he's like, no, we'll be fine. So it'll be fine. We're almost done now. Okay, look at that. Let's have a look a little bit further out. Put a few more in. See, I've kind of got 3s in there and I've got a 2 in there. So do I go a bit rebel and put 3 in? Or do I do 2? Or do I do 3 and then go back and put another one in outside? Decisions to make. Do you know what? I'm just enjoying drawing that one at the minute. So here we go. And bring that one in. I'm going to go 3. And I'm going to put another one in that one where I've only got 2, I think. So which way is it going? I'm going to go that way. And again, little dots on the bubbles on the top like that. To those bits. And another one there. And sort of balancing it out, really. Just a little one. I'm going to one more over here. Round we go. Same thing again. In and along. There you go. Sort of finish it off. Okay. Just want to put a couple little curves and bobbles. I think that's going to finish those bits off. Now you can go over the top of things if you want, or underneath them. So like here, look, I can come over the top of that. It's curves and bobbles, see? Curves and bobbles. And because I'm filling them in at the top, let's do another one there, look, just because I can. So that one I'm going to go, look, underneath and then there. So it looks like it's going underneath. And work it round. Same again. Along we go. To there. What's the chances, do you think, that John has actually started our evening meal? Probably next to nothing. As you know, he's one of those that if he has to sort of start the prep, he'll put like everything in separate dishes. Okay, I'm going to put some a little grid in the middle. So you end up with double the amount of washing. As if you just use a chopping board. Okay. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of colour first. I think it's an absolute must. And I could use any colour because I've got quite a lot of things going on. So I'm just going to look to my pencils here. And I think I'm going to go blue. I think, in all honesty, I'm looking at which ones are sharpest. Because I've only got my basic equipment up here. I don't have my pencil sharpener up here, but that's all good. So I've got my blues and the white. I've got summer sky, mid-sea blue, dark sea blue. So let's start with, I'm going to start with the dark sea blue. I think I'm going to pick these ones to add a bit of colour in. So I'm just going to sort of work my way around. Now I'm doing the same on all of them, so I'm not going to try and look at where the light's coming from or anything. They're going to be the same. Like so. And let's bring that mid-sea in. Sort of over the top there. And I never colour one in at a time. I'll always do it this way. Summer sky. So I'm going to kind of swirl that in a little bit. Still leaving a tiny little gap there. And then I can bring my white in. Now always check with your white, because if you've been using it with a different colour, it might still be on the end. It's any white pencil. You just want to make sure that it's okay. All right, I've got purple gem now. I'm going to add a little bit of that in that top corner. So your colouring needn't be a long process. It can be, you know, super quick if you want it to be, but you want results. You want to build layers. Dark sea blue, look. Ooh. See, that one's sharp. But I don't know. Let's bring that one in. Same colour, dark sea blue. I've got 2 of them. I've got a few packs, to be fair, and I think some of them have got mixed up. Because obviously if I'm doing something and I've moved them and took them elsewhere to colour with them, mid-sea blue. So I end up with a bit of a mismatch. I do need to sort them out, I know. Okay. Okay. Summer. Sort of not going in too much, just little bits there. And then white. And sort of finishes it off there. Sort of over the top of those few bits. I'm not going anywhere near that dark purple gem, it's fine. So we've got a little hint of colour, and it's giving it something solid, isn't it? So do I have? Yes, I do. I do have a black pencil. So I'm going to kind of just come in and add a touch just on one side. So I've gone where I've put the dark blue already. And added a touch. I might come back with that black in a short while. There we go. Okay. Oh, doesn't want to go bigger. There. So 2B pencil. And I'm going to come back to the middle here, and I'm going to go on, you know where they go under on these plain ones like this. So I'm not going to do it there, look, because it's going over, but here it's going under. Both sides there. And that one. Hello, Leslie. I can't see that one's going under there, look. And then that one there. So let's get our tortillon. And gentle there, because I don't want them to touch. I want a little bit of a gap in between, see? And then let's soften them out that way. And that way. Okay. And into there. See, so that's going to have a lot more lightness to it, but it's because it's sort of sitting on the top. Into there. Same with this one. Again, see, I've missed that bit there, look. So I can come in and put a bit in. And sort of push it up that shape a bit. Okay. So I want to make sure that they're, you know, it's pretty smooth there. A little bit of light. You see where I've got those little bits there? I can come in with my white pencil. Add a touch. Now I know there's a bit of blue on the end, but that's fine because it's going to pick up that colour there. So it sort of works together. So back in with my regular pencil. And this time I'm going to come in on those stripes. Now if your stripes are wide enough, you'll get both sides with pencil. But if they're not, it's fine. Just pick one side and go with it. I'm keeping it quite close to the edge. So I'm not really sketching. It's more about sort of putting that pencil in, you see? So sort of almost following the lines of the pen anyway. And not sort of straying too far from it. Like we do. Okay. All the way around. So you could, if you wanted to, colour every other stripe in. So you've got black and white or blue and white, whatever colour you want. But my main piece, I wanted to see those 4 gems there. Okay. So, tortillon again. This time, you just want to make sure that you're not going straight into the middle. You're just going to work on either side, look, leave a gap. Like so. And sort of keep it going. Trying to leave that gap. I know sometimes it can be a bit tricky. You can always come in with a white pen, white gel pen to do that. But I'm trying if I can to not have to do that. I want to have that little bit of, you know, that little bit of colour in the background. I want to give me a little bit of essence. And if you can do it without, it's fine. It means I don't have to go and find a white gel pen. Okay. Other bits. Yeah. All right. Happy with that. So black pencil. I'm going to choose a side. I'm going to come in on this side. You see where it's going over the top of this one? I've put black pencil. So it's going over the top of that, look. But that's underneath, so I'm not going to worry about that. So let's do the next one, look. That bit's going over. So let's take it over. That's going under. So I'm not going to worry about that one. Again, this one, look, is going over. So I want a bit of darkness. That's over. See, if we were to put black on all of it, you kind of lose that feel that it's going over and under. So we don't want to do that. Okay. I'm going to come in with my mid-sea blue. You see where we've got these ovals on this bit here? I want to add a little bit either side. I'm going to come in with my white pencil in a minute and give it a little bit of highlight. But I'm just doing that first shape there. See? Little bits. It's nice, I think, to do a little bit of colour and then a little bit of black and white, because then it builds up at the same time, and you can decide whether you want to go in with more colour or whether you want to go in with more pencil and shading. So adding something, maybe a bit of colour to somewhere where you wouldn't usually, it changes it up a little bit. It a different feel, because we can get a bit samey, can't we? We draw the same patterns, the same sort of styles, but doing it this way, just change that one thing up. So I'm going to choose a side with these. I'm going to come down. Now I'm not going to have the same side all the time, so you don't have to choose. And see, if you want to do a pattern, you can, but if you want to just go in a bit random, you can do that too. Again, you could use your black pencil, but I've not decided yet with that. See my little loops, a little bit at the bottom, like so. Loops, I had to think then what I was doing. Loops, Sandra, loops. Okay. And Tortillon. Now I'm going to take my Tortillon down the stems a bit as well. I've not put any pencil on, but for how fine they are, I'm going to sort of use whatever's on my Tortillon anyway, so not going to be anything extra. Alright. That one. See, it didn't take long at all, did it? Okay, oh, a little bit on them. Just to bring it out a bit. And my black pencil. Oh, let's have a look. See, we don't want to... Oh, let's just do that a bit more. I'm just going to sort of come up the edge of the first few. You know, the bigger pieces. So maybe 1, look, 2, 3. And give that a little bit more of a darkness to it. If it's too small, you can just do 2. Don't have to do 3. It depends on the size you've drawn your little pieces. And I'm going to put some in the corners of those loops. Like that. I'm not blending the black particularly. I'm just going to help the graphite move up that loop a little bit more, just to help with that blend. Have a little look at that. Okay, I'm just going to bring my white back in, and look, I'm just taking off that little bit of blue off the edge. and I'm going to come in down the middle. Now, I could use a gel pen for this, but I don't want it to sort of really stand out. I'm giving it, it's almost like I'm giving it a helping hand with that highlight. If it was a white gel pen, you'd see it a lot clearer. So I'm just giving it a starting point. You see where I've got these bits as well? And come in. Now, because I've got colour in the background, that's why the white's going to show up a bit more. It depends what you've got going on with yours. So I've just added that little bit of white where they're in place. You see, now you can sort of see it where it's crossing over, see? Like that. Okay. All right then, so let's have a look. I'm going to put a little bit. You know, if you've got really large little patterns here, you can put a little bit of white on that edge. I said, because I've got an inked background, the white is going to show up a bit more. Look at that. All right, so initials, it's the last thing we do. Always sign your work, please. Yeah, SR, and there it is, number 576 on the 29th of August. So for sure, the next tile that we do is going to be in the new place. So I'm looking forward to that. But for now, it's just been nice to relax and chill out. And hopefully John started TSSA. Probably not. So a bit of a sit down now. I can feel the tiredness. I'm not quite sure how my knees are going to work when I get up, but it'll be fine. So have a lovely weekend, everybody. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday for our next tile. Other than that, I'll catch you soon. Have a good one. Bye.